Hey everybody, my name is Michael Levan, and in this video we're going to learn how to utilize CloudTruth with PowerShell. Now if you're not familiar with PowerShell, it's a scripting or programming language depending on how you'd like to explain it, but point being is it gets the job done from a repeatable and automation perspective. Now as you can see, I'm in CloudTruth and I have this project here called PowerShell. Now if I click on the parameters, notice how I have three parameters: the cluster name, the node count, and the resource group name. Now, if you guessed it from the environment values here, I'm going to do something simple yet a big task, which is to create an AKS or an Azure Kubernetes Service cluster. So I have my three parameters here. Now, let's go ahead and head over to VS Code really quick. So I have the command here. It's just the new AZ AKS cluster commandlet, and then I'm specifying three parameters: the resource group name, the name of the cluster, and the node count. Now, notice here how I'm specifying environment variables in PowerShell. Now, that's because when we run the CloudTruth CLI, which we're going to see in a second, it's going to call upon environment variables when it looks at the parameters inside of CloudTruth. Now, I have this little README here, and there are a few things that you're going to have to do. First, you're going to have to ensure that you have the Azure PowerShell module installed, which you can do with this command. Next, you're going to have to connect to the Azure account that you're utilizing, and then finally you can run the command. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll run CloudTruth project. I'm actually going to specify the PowerShell project here instead of the bicep project. And then I'm going to do run, and then I'm going to specify that I want to run PowerShell in the terminal, and I'm going to call upon the aks.ps1 script here. So let's go ahead and run that. Now this is going to take a few minutes here to actually see an output, because it outputs once the AKS cluster is created. But what we can do is, if we go to the Azure portal, which I'll open up here, and if I go to Kubernetes, we can see here that I have something called AKS bicep demo 01. So that's the AKS cluster that's being created via this code right here. So let's go ahead and give it a few minutes to actually finish up and complete running, and then we'll see that output here. And as we can see, the output is here for us. If I scroll up a little bit, we can see that it was succeeded in terms of the deployment, the Kubernetes API version, and then the DNS prefix and everything else around the metadata. So that's how you can utilize CloudTruth to call upon parameters inside of a CloudTruth project with PowerShell. Thank you for watching.